it's obvious. What do you mean it's a big one?
80, not so obvious to some. 83% of the audience said yes. I'd like to know what that 17% thinks almonds look like. I do. Look at football. Are you surprised that Andre 3000 was playing a double flute alone in an airport terminal? Least shocking thing I've ever heard. 63% of the audience said no. Is a giant vat of mayo eaten by the spoonful worse if it's during the summer in Memphis?
It's a great question.
Just want to go back to the least shocking thing you've ever heard.
Andre 3000, terminal, airport, flute, double.
Just surprise you the least of
right.
anything you've encountered.
Walk by without even blinking. Yeah, it's Andre.
He walked by without even blinking. He's playing a double flute alone in an airport.
I've seen him do it.
At Levitard Show, Instagram and
Got a
Twitter.
residency at LaGuardia. Anyway, 95% of the audience said yes. Where were we? On what? Oh, in Memphis, Mayo. Did you know that Pipe Dream was referencing opium? 82% of the audience said no. You didn't know that, right, Dan?
Can you move it along? We got 3 days of polls to do here. Can you just move it along so we can be done with today?
Again, there. 62 years of life, a good run. Billy said it was. 60% of the audience said no. Do you miss the car ashtray? 63% of the audience said no. Should a Bogdanovich make $19 million a year? 73% of the audience said no. Should the Warriors have a parade today anyway? Good question.
All week they should have parades.
57% of the audience said yes. Does the truth teller need to avenge more than 5.4 points per game for his career? Average. Average. I'm reading a lot here, man. This is the most I've ever read.
Avenge? You made average?
Does the truth teller need to average more than 5.4 points per game for his career? I did make it avenge. 92% of the audience said yes. Have the Knicks been bad for longer than they've been good? What's the record here?
98.
98% of the audience said yes. Least shocking thing I've ever seen. Oh, that. Do you long for the days of just 3 Band-Aid options, small, medium, and large? 78% of the audience said yes. Would you rather be average funny for 100 years or great funny for 10 rocket ship years? 84% of the audience said 10 great years. I had to scroll up here. Big fat white face, big fat white face. Danny Ainge, scrappy or bitey? 66% of the audience said bitey.
You're getting to today's poll questions now?
Do you know who Rod Smart is? 50-50, never happened before. Do you know who Hate Me is? 77% of the audience said yes.
You just heard the Dan Levitar Show on ESPN Radio.
All right, bye.
Hulu's paying Tobin Heath, Carly Lloyd, Mallory Pugh, and other U.S. soccer stars a lot of money to do a new goal celebration called Hulu Has Live Sports. Why? It's simple. Because Hulu has live sports. You can watch the biggest games and sporting events like the Women's World Cup this summer on 60-plus top channels. No cable required. Plus, you can stream the entire Hulu library. Start your free trial of Hulu today. Live TV plan required. Restrictions apply. Learn more at hulu.com.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software. No matter your technology needs, Dell is here to help your small business do big things. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
This is Halftime.
Any season that ends in Omaha is a successful one, but it also leaves you wanting more when you go 0-2 in barbecue.
The trip to Omaha was a disappointment. It was disappointing. You were allowed to say that. This team went 0-2 with the road they had in Omaha. They should have gone farther. That's okay to say. I kind of cringe when people say the season overall was a disappointment based on what you lost last year and just how it played out. I don't think that's fair to this ball club. I don't think it's fair to Dave Van Horn. But if you want to characterize the trip to Omaha itself, the 2 games, the 2 losses to Florida State and Texas Tech, I'm okay with that. But that's kind of where I draw the line, Phil, when people start referencing this season to be disappointing, because it's not. The trip was. There's a big difference when you say that.
Every weekday from 12 to 2, only on ESPN 95.3.
Sometimes a weak heart can give you strength you never knew you had.
When I first found out I had the heart condition, one of the first things that went through my mind was, I'm going to die young.
After overcoming a heart condition that kept her from pursuing her passions, the heart team at Baptist Health helped her prove you don't have to be invincible to be incredible.
I never think anymore about what I can't do.
Keep on inspiring. Keep on striving. Keep on amazing. To schedule an appointment with a physician, call 1-888-BAPTIST.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston has doubled our pre-owned inventory, and we've got to make room so everything will fit on the lot. So now is the absolute best time to come in and get a great deal on one of our premium pre-owned vehicles at Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston. We have everything from GM certified pre-owned vehicles to competitive make imports and domestics. Take the short drive to Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston and drive home in your next vehicle, or visit us online at huggm.com. Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, closer than you think.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Shipping and handling. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. No additional cost. Some restrictions apply, so learn more at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Marsha Cox or Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Occasional showers and thunderstorms with us today. Our weather is going to stay pretty unsettled through tonight, and then we may start to brighten things up tomorrow. High temperatures today, low 80s. A few showers or storms with us tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Sunshine returns Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on at OGE.com.
Apple Podcasts. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 73 days.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Tye Richardson.
Been doing some homework, man. I appreciate the work you're putting in. Your show is really, really good, guys.
What were you doing there?
Communicating. Keeping up with foreign relations. Giving him the bird. The finger.
Yes, I know the finger, Goose.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
In the middle of your week and still the start of your Razorback postseason, we say the start of the year, the start of the athletic season is the start of football season. It goes all the way to the end of baseball season. It's kind of like the school year for your kids, which amazingly, I've got family in Oregon, and in Oregon, the kids just got out of school. It's like the last day of school just happened. Wasn't it a month ago? here that we finished school for kids. But school, as far as athletics are concerned in college sports, are still going on, at least for another week and a half or so. They're in Omaha, but the Razorbacks are no longer part of it. So the off-season does begin for us. The conversation does turn a little bit. Those who do follow our Twitter page or our Twitter stream, hit that line, saw the hog tune. I was about to call it a cartoon, but you might as well just call it a hog tune, because that's what it is. I don't know who it is that puts out these hog tunes, but they're really in tune, no pun intended initially, to what's going on in Arkansas athletics right now. So you've got your dial. You've switched your dial, which was heavy on Arkansas baseball really over the last month to 2 months, and now you switched it to it says it's switched to football. We're not quite there yet. It's funny because Tye refers to this part of the year for college for sports shows in our part of the country as Mount Rushmore season, when we're starting to talk about all of our favorite this and favorite that.
And I can't take sole credit for that, because that's been going on for however many years in sports radio. But as soon as that game ended on Monday, it became Mount Rushmore season until about SEC Media Days, which is about 3 or 4 weeks from now.
Okay, so it basically gives you like a month of an off season. I thought it was really off season for college football once the NFL draft happened. Once that went down, that's the end of the college football season. You actually do get an off season. I don't care what Bill King says. We've got Bill coming on later on today. There is an off season to football. For college athletics, at least for departments like Arkansas and a lot of the others in the SEC and the other 7 schools that are still playing college baseball, would have been 6 if Mother Nature have not intervened yesterday in Omaha and put a suspension on the Louisville-Auburn ball game. So there still are 7 schools that are remaining in the 2018-2019 college athletics season. But basically, yeah, you get about another month, and then it's SEC Media Days, and then everything gets kicked into hyperdrive. So you slow things down. You kind of get a little bit reflective on what you saw over the last year now. I think that's part of Mount Rushmore season, is looking back on what you've been watching for the last, what has it been now? It was 10 months. It was pretty much 10 months of football to basketball to baseball, with a little bit of track thrown in there, a little bit of golf thrown in there. The teams that I think for winning national championships when it comes right down to it, and baseball's the end of it, and it did come to an end on Monday, and it's funny. Didn't you see the video? I think it was an answer that Dominic Fletcher gave to one of the media members after the Razorbacks were done with their dog pile following last Monday's win against Ole Miss, and he said laughingly, and I don't know the context around how the question was asked, but he laughed a little bit, and he said, Arkansas, yeah, we're a baseball school, and he even if he was joking a little bit, there's definitely, or maybe he wasn't, I don't know, I didn't ask him, but there's an air of truth to that right now. There is an air of truth to that, and it's funny because I was even just thinking about some of the schools in the SEC that are really good in baseball year after year have a lot of trouble maintaining a successful football program year after year. I mean, you're in a position with Arkansas baseball right now that you would give your left foot for to be in position for football, honestly, being a contending team every single year.
By the way,
I know,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say real quick, Phil, they actually had a poll question coming out, I believe it, of Atlanta, Georgia yesterday. I don't know the context of the conversation. You might know what I'm talking about.
I know this way. I took a snapshot of it, yes.
Would you take a non-lethal gunshot to the thigh, I believe what the area of your body was, in order to ensure a Georgia national championship? And I'm wondering if you ask Arkansas football fans or basketball fans or baseball fans that same question, how that answer would be.
I remember. I saw this while I was on the bus with the baseball team riding to the airport in Omaha, and I took a snapshot of it and I showed it to Harrison Heffley, who's one of the team managers. He was a pitcher, but he got hurt, and so he's been one of the best team managers I think they've had over these last 4 years. And I showed it to him. I was laughing. He said, "What's funny?" So I said, "Well, this is what's funny." And he laughed too. I said, "So answer the question." And he said, "Yes, he would. He absolutely would. This is a member of the Arkansas baseball team that would have taken the lethal gunshot. The non-lethal gunshot. I'm sorry."
That's a team player right there, Phil. That's all that is.
I told him, I said, "Hey, you know what? I don't know. I mean, there is you got a pretty important artery in your thigh. I don't know if you could even guarantee that it would be non-lethal." I did see that one.
It's a hyperbole. Is it hyperbole? Is that how you say it?
That's about as hyperbolic as it would get, yes. But here's the other thing, too. I think, hey, you want to answer that question? Go ahead. I think there are a lot of people that would say yes. But I just don't think you can guarantee it'd be non-lethal. That's why I wouldn't go yes. 877-377-6963. So that would change the perception of some of the outsiders, when looking into the fan base. These are the people that would definitely take a gunshot for a national championship. But the perception of Arkansas athletics, I mean, inside the SEC, outside the SEC, to those who, pay attention to college baseball now, Arkansas is a baseball school. Just looking at the track record of success, that doesn't mean that everybody's favorite sport is baseball. It doesn't mean that baseball generates more money than the others. It does mean that that's the most successful program of the ones that aren't that you would call the big three. So, hey, but does that help? Does that help any of the perception of the other teams that are on campus at all, or does it just help the perception of baseball?
And that's our halftime poll question today. Has Arkansas's baseball's recent success helped Arkansas basketball and football as a national brand? And Phil, I agree with you. If you look at the three major sports, Arkansas is clearly a baseball school. I'll reference this again as I've done many times on this show. The Arkansas basketball program has not been to a Sweet 16 since 96, haven't been in the AP top 10 since 95. The football team hasn't been relevant since about 2011. That's a long time for basketball, shorter for football, but, I mean, you're coming up on 10 years. You're getting close to 10 years of basically irrelevance in the SEC. And people might be offended by calling Arkansas a baseball school. And yes, I know the majority of our listeners want Arkansas to be known as a football school. The one good thing that's coming out, and actually it's not one good thing, there's many good things that are coming out of the baseball program having success. But I'm wondering, because Hunter Yurchek's whole mantra since coming in is win is one Razorback, one Razorback. I'm wondering if the national audience, and I'm mainly thinking about recruits and just people who they view Razorback football and basketball, if they see that Razorback baseball success, see them in Omaha the past 2 years, see them in Omaha 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019, and if you want to go back to as far as 2012, I'm curious to see if they make the connection. Hey, you're seeing Arkansas have success in this sport. Maybe they could have success in the other. And it was, who did we have on the other day? I want to say it was Connor Vanover we were talking about, with him going to the baseball game and him talking about, hey, man, they're showing up this much for baseball. Imagine what we could do for baseball. And you just amplify that for football. So I think it might not be the biggest impact, Phil, but Arkansas having baseball success surely doesn't hurt the football or basketball program.
Yeah, I don't know how one program necessarily feeds off of another, and that's what the administrators are for, to figure out, how to create a cohesive athletic department. And
Correct.
that seems like it's way beyond my pay grade and understanding. But I would also say that the way that they can sort of feed off of each other a little bit, they already do this. I mean, when baseball recruits come to campus, if there's a basketball game, they're going to go to Bud Walton Arena.
Yep.
I mean, they try to build some of these recruiting trips for basketball and baseball around football weekends.
Where were they at?
This is when you see the biggest crowds. This is when you see all of the traditions, too. But you can also be, just like you're talking about with Connor Vanover, home into an Arkansas baseball game. We've asked Nikki Chavanel this question a couple of times. You get these recruits, now football recruits, too, that are coming out in April or in May and have a chance to see another side of the fan base and more traditions. And I mean, a lot of our listeners have been at a game at Baum Stadium and have been there when there's been 10,000 or so, and you've called the Hogs. I mean, there's a feeling you get from that, that you say, you know what, there's just not a lot of places that feature this sort of fan base. But again, it's got to be more. You're saying it's just part of it, and you're right. It's always going to be about the relationship between the coaches and the kids, the available playing time, and in the case of Dave Van Horn right now, and this is where baseball is light years ahead of the other two that we're talking about. Your track record of success is right there, and it's as hard as steel, and it can't be moved. And the perception of you is as winner here, and I can get you to the draft. Like 9 guys are already going to be signing professional contracts. So you have that right there. So the perception, I mean, if you're Arkansas football, if you're Arkansas basketball, if you're Eric Musselman, if you're Chad Morris, you want that. You want to see that sort of respect given to you, but you got to build that program first.
Go back to the Alabama football game earlier this year. Arkansas did not win. They had a little bit of some showing, had some good offense in that game. But you remember the video of Cheyenne O'Grady catching that touchdown in the corner of the end zone, and the current baseball players and recruits were in the corner celebrating and jumping up and down, and you just got a sense of atmosphere, a sense of excitement from that. And I think back to many times how certain football players, certain football recruits have attended basketball games, lively basketball games at Bud Walton Arena. And we just referenced Isaiah Moss and Connor Vanover being at the baseball game.
So it didn't work with Isaiah any longer than, 3 weeks, though.
But he at least got a commitment. So at least on that front. So a lot of times in recruiting, you take athletes to other sporting events. Now, you want to get them specifically for that sport that you're recruiting them to, but sometimes whether it's travel plans, whether it's their itinerary, it doesn't always work out that way. So you didn't get a lot of help for the basketball team this year because they weren't that good. But the baseball team, and I don't know about football player-wise, but there was a couple basketball players that made visits to campus and attended an Arkansas baseball game. And so when you have a team the caliber that Arkansas was this year, that helps pull in guys. And it also helps that you have a relationship with Chad Morris and Dave Van Horn. You have that connection with Connor Nolan that they've decided, hey, he's going to participate in both sports. We're going to be okay with this. Also, the relationship with Eric Musselman and Chad Morris, how Musselman was tweeting out Chad Morris quotes prior to him getting to Arkansas, and they've seemed to kind of developed a relationship since they both gotten to campus. So you have that. I don't know about Muss and Dave Van Horn. We haven't really seen any connections there, but also just a cohesiveness with the 3 major coaches is a big thing. Because let's be honest, Phil, at some point in time when we're doing this radio show, we don't want to talk about a losing football team. We want to talk about a team that's competing for the SEC West. The same applies for basketball. Whether it's in a couple years or down the line, we want Eric Musselman and the Arkansas basketball program to be relevant, to be competing with John Calipari in Kentucky. And the reason that that's going to happen is because of the kids they get in there. So if you have a school, if you have a sports program, 3 major sports that suck at everything, I just feel like it's that much harder to get 3 programs back on their feet. At least you have one staple right now, and it's the one that you just got finished calling, Phil.
Arkansas baseball now for the last 2 years in Omaha, 3 years in a row hosting a regional. So that puts you essentially amongst. It doesn't make you in the Sweet 16, but you are in a top 16 seed if you're a regional host. I mean, you haven't had that kind of basketball success where even you've made the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row since Pelfrey's first season. I mean, you go back to 2000, the 2007-2008 season, Pelfrey's first year, inheriting Stan Heath, who had taken them to the tournament twice. And, of course, about the run under Nolan Richardson. I mean, they missed the NCAA tournament twice after his first couple of years. Football hasn't been to a bowl game. I mean, they made 3 bowl games in a row under Brett Bielema, but those were also a couple of bowl games that were equal to the NIT in the Belk Bowl and the Texas Bowl. I mean, under Bobby Petrino, you made a couple of bowl games that mattered. But, I mean, you'd have to go a long way back to find playing 3 years in a row in bowl games that had some impact. I mean, it's been a while. So yeah, I mean, we know about that track record of success by this time now. I mean, it is Arkansas is a state, is a fan base that is craving, is thirsting for football success in a way that you can feel it pent up right now. It's a basketball fan base that still remembers what it was like a little bit to be on the top of the mountain. Right now, you feel like you're a little far away from that mountain, even though you're probably not as far away as you think. And in baseball, you were about a foot away from the top of the mountain for a minute there, and you're still right there at the apex. You could reach the top of the mountain at some point soon.
Phil, pop this next answer for me off the top of your head. What do you think the defining moment for the Arkansas baseball team was this year? And you can pick out a game, you can pick out an inning, you can pick out a moment, but I'm going to follow that up with something. So is there an inning or a moment or a game that you think was defining for this baseball team this year?
Well, I mean, I would go back to the 15-inning game against Auburn during the doubleheader that Friday. That was early April. Comeback win. You'd already lost a game that you'd led earlier in the ball game. By the way, a loss that followed a little bit of a script of most of the losses this year. Early lead, couldn't hold it, couldn't build that lead, but then later on in the game, in the second game, fight back from down a couple, see a team dogpile in front of you, just all the stuff that we've already talked about involving Kevin Kopps getting heckled by the Auburn players and winning in about 11 o'clock at night. That one, to me, I think stands out more than most. And it's tough to pick some moments because I think there were some big moments this year.
So I would argue the defining moment for Arkansas football was either the punt return or the running into each other play. It was occurred
right
I believe in the same game. One I know against North Texas, and I think they were both in the same game. The defining game was probably losing on the road against Colorado State. For basketball, I would say that.
Can I give you? Well, I already know where you're going with basketball because you said after the win, this can't be your apex. This can't be the best moment of your season after the win against LSU in Baton Rouge.
You know what? I'm actually going to go different. I think the actual defining moment of the season this past year was the Kentucky game, a game you were pretty much leading the entire way and then managed to choke it away in the second half because, unfortunately, that was a staple sometimes of Mike Anderson basketball teams. And you think about their exit in the NCAA tournament back in 2017 against North Carolina, almost the exact same thing happened. If you match those games up side by side, you would almost thinking you were watching the same game. Now, that 2017 was much more talented than this team that we saw lose in Lexington last year. But I actually think that would be the game that I would go back to for basketball. That being said, Phil,
you're putting a differential here on high point or defining moment. There are differences.
Here's the thing. I think that was more defining moment. For baseball, the defining moment was the fact they were wins. They were high moments. But it's hard to find a defining good moment in a 2-10 football season and then in a basketball team that didn't make the NCAA tournament and had a chance to. So when you look at a winning or losing ball club, regardless of sport, typically, depending on if they're a winning team or a losing team, you lean towards the game that they either lost or won, depending on what their overall record is. And so even in the defining moments, you're lackluster. That's what college football fans know Arkansas as this past year, the North Texas punt return game. Basketball-wise, I don't know if the Kentucky games is defining because not as many eyes were on it because they didn't replay it on SportsCenter over and over again. But there wasn't a college basketball collective memory that was good for Arkansas. Baseball, there was plenty of them. So even just amongst the national media, the national spectators who just casually watch college football, college baseball, or college basketball, there's only one good memory that you probably get collectively, and that's from college baseball fans. You don't get that in college basketball or college football because there was seldom anything to choose from this past year.
See, I wonder if some folks, and I've already told you what I think my defining moment is, or inning, like you asked, for this year's team. But I wonder if some would also look to the idea that one of the you have to look on the other side of the coin here. I mean, for a team that was in position to make a run in the College World Series with what everybody thought was a beneficial bracket, the team failed to capitalize on some opportunities, and that also was also a defining part of this team in losses. the 5-8 record in one-run games. Now, these aren't the things I'm going to remember. If I were to pick one thing about the season, I'm looking to that doubleheader against Auburn, which to me also, that first game, just like I said, that also was something that you noticed about losses throughout the whole season. Take an early lead, have trouble holding it, have trouble building the lead, give it up late. That happened in the Texas Tech game this past Monday. That happened a few times at the end of the regular season. Not like it hurt you as far as the ability to get to the promised land anyway. So, and I wondered how a lot of folks would look at the defining moment of the 2018 college baseball season with all those wins and all those home runs and all those fabulous moments. The defining moment, I think, in a lot of people's eyes last year is the dropped pop-up, or the pop-up that wasn't caught, because no, it wasn't dropped. Nobody got their hands on it. That's not, if I'm going to pick one moment for that baseball season, and I was around for almost all of them, that's always going to be the one that sticks in the back of your mind. And that wasn't a positive moment in what turned out to be one of the most positive things to ever happen on campus at the University of Arkansas.
I know some people are always going to be Debbie Downers. They're always going to look at the glass half empty, but I think most people are going to remember this season as a good one, and I think we addressed that a little bit yesterday. When it comes to recent success in both Arkansas football and Arkansas basketball, let's go back to 94 because there's really nothing, I guess you could say 95, but that was kind of the iconic year. You lose, you win the NCAA tournament, you beat Duke in the national championship. Phil, no one remembers them losing to Kentucky in the SEC tournament. Let's go back to 2010 and 2011 Arkansas football. Most people remember the good times. They don't remember that they don't dive into the losses as much, getting screwed on the road against Auburn, losing that heartbreaker to Alabama in 2010, and then getting blown out by LSU and Alabama in 2011. They just remember the apexes. They remember the pinnacles. You're a lot less likely to remember the games you lost or the moments that hurt you in winning seasons than you are losing. Now, that's not the case for everyone, because some people look at it, again, the glass half full, and they'll remember the times where, man, this would have happened, Arkansas would have won a national championship and whatnot. But it's just harder to find good things that occurred in this basketball and football season compared to baseball. And hopefully that turns around soon, because, again, I don't want to be doing this radio show for the next 5 years and not be able to talk about a good football or basketball program. That's just not going to be fun for us.
No, it probably wouldn't be. That would turn us both into Debbie Downers, and that's not anything that either of us or anybody else, I think, wants to be either. Hey, by the way, before we go to the break, and here's what we've got coming up on halftime today. Since tomorrow is the NBA draft, and we're really interested to see where Daniel Gafford goes. We found somebody that has Daniel Gafford as his 9th best prospect in the draft. He hasn't slotted him there in a mock draft, but he said he thinks that he is the 9th best available player. His name's Rashad Phillips. He'll join us later on in this hour. And, of course, we'll have Bill King in hour number 2, talk a little college football. And, Vanderbilt's still playing college baseball. We might ask him a couple things about Kumar Rocker and what's going on with the Commodores. All right, before we go to the break, though, for anybody that's getting into real estate, if you're buying, if you're selling, if you're investing, right now, get with Quantum Real Estate. Interest rates are low for the time being, and that means for now you get more house for your money, but you got to get with Quantum Real Estate soon in order to do this with confidence. And if you're thinking of getting into real estate investing, Quantum Real Estate can find the right property or properties and make it hassle-free by managing those properties for you. Call Quantum Real Estate today at 479-434-6860, or you can go to quantumpropertyservicesinc.com. Back after a quick break, halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson. Follow them on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP and at Tye Sports Radio.
Hey dads, do you have an athlete in your house that is looking to take their skills to the next level? Excel Speed Training at the Fort Smith Athletic Club has the proven results to maximize your athlete's potential. Designed for both male and female athletes of all ages and various sports to improve mobility, endurance, agility, and vertical jump. Take your game to the next level with Excel Speed Training. Call Mike Johnson at 479-926-0193. That's Mike at 479-926-0193 at the Fort Smith Athletic Club. Are your real estate
estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Kofer's Boat Center, your authorized Mercury dealer, has been helping our customers create a lifetime of family memories for over 45 years. Kofer's carries the brands you trust like low aluminum fishing boats, low pontoons, and Bayliner powered by Mercury. Fish the finest in Triton tournament bass boats to fit every budget, or come check out the best-selling towboats in the industry from Malibu and Axis, ready to create the best wakes and surf waves you've ever experienced. Stop by and see all the options available for your family's time on the water at Kofer's, or visit our website at kofers.com.
Every day, vegetables are ripped from the earth, sliced, diced, even something called julienne. But for just $5 a day, you can help. Get 2 Hardee's Original Roast Beef Sandwiches for just $5. Slow-cooked beef, hand-dipped in rich au jus, each prepared without harming a single vegetable. So come to Hardee's, get 2 Original Roast Beef Sandwiches, and save the veggies. Hardee's, because it tastes better. Available for a limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Proclaim Construction has been in the industry for a combined 50 years, and they can meet any needs you may have for your home or business. Proclaim is your insurance restoration specialist, and they're offering a no-cost, limited-time free roof inspection, and they'll make your insurance claim if necessary. Whether it's basic repair, remodel, or complete makeover, Proclaim Construction guarantees your satisfaction with the best warranty in the business. Proclaim has references for your peace of mind, and they're licensed, bonded, and insured for your protection. Call 479-407-9598.
Adams & Son Roofing and Construction is here to assist in the rebuilding of our community during this historical time in the River Valley and surrounding areas. Adams & Son Roofing and Construction does quality workmanship from complete roofing, siding, gutters, inside your home remodeling, plus all your construction needs. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 479-434-4455. Adams & Son Roofing and Construction, licensed, insured, and bonded. Check us on the web at adamsroofingandconstruction.com. Adams & Son Roofing and Construction, here for our community.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
This is the Morning Rush.
Sterling is incinerated. What's going on, Sterling?
You do not bunt East Vale for Martin in this situation right here. No way in hell. Dumb talk. Come on, people. Just watch the freaking game. Don't just start picking up the game when the weather gets warm. I'm a freaking fanatic. I don't say nothing stupid like that. Don't be putting down fanatic crap.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
And Blue!
Yes, sir.
Do you trust that I do not want to see you die here tonight?
Sir, yes, sir.
Blue, you're my boy!
Thank you, sir.
Back on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Ty, here's one thing that I think I may try. I was going to save this for Change My Mind later on, and maybe you can try to change my mind on this, but I'm interested in finding the most active college basketball and college football coach on Twitter. I can tell you who's the least active coach on Twitter that actually has an account, and he might be up on the hill. It might be Dave Van Horn. I think Eric Musselman may be one of the most active tweeters, not just on campus, but of any coach that's out there. And I don't say that in any negative way whatsoever. I have a feeling that that's the way that some of these guys figure on building their programs. But I think I'm going to start a scoreboard watch. We like scoreboards in college athletics, or really any sort of athletics. So I'm going to keep track of some of this. Do some research on SEC coaches. So we're starting with these numbers here. Eric Musselman has tweeted about. You know how once you get past about 5 figures, they don't give you the actual count anymore, then you just get the K at the end of your count? 15,100 tweets since October 2012.
Jeez.
Chad Morris has been on Twitter since July 2011. He has tweeted 5,255 times. So he's a pretty active tweeter, but he's not on all the time. Muss's last tweet came 3 hours ago. It was a quote from Memphis Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins. Chad Morris's last tweet came from a retweet from yesterday from the Arkansas football account. Dave Van Horn. All right, Musselman, 15,100. Chad Morris, 5,255. Dave Van Horn, 32 tweets since September 2013.
Man,
his last tweet was when he gave out College World Series rings to last year's team, December 7th, 2018. He's joked to me before. He said, I don't tweet very much. Maybe I should send out a tweet, and then laughs.
There was at one point we were talking about the DVH tweet curse where it was bad luck if he were to tweet something out because he didn't so much. And he has a Twitter, doesn't really use it. He's at a point kind of like Chuck is. We joked about Chuck Barrett not having a Twitter.
Well, he's got one. There's an ad hoc radio voice that has no tweets. It's got his photo on it. It says it's Chuck Barrett. There's no blue check, so who knows? But I think that's supposed to be Chuck.
Because Chuck just got a Facebook, like a week ago? And I was blown away when that popped up on my, you should friend Chuck Barrett. 34 mutual friends.
This isn't real. Somebody let Chuck know someone's trying to be him. Someone's masking him.
I mean, all this goes back to is
generational gap.
I mean, some people have it, some people don't. It's more of my generation's things. My dad got one, which I thought was funny because he's in his upper 50s, and I always get a crack out of when he tweets or interacts on Twitter because he's only been doing it for a couple months now. It's not for everyone. That's okay. It's not like it's a crime not to have a Twitter, but it is kind of funny, the discrepancy between the main three coaches, how Musselman's way up there, Morris is pretty up there, and then Dave's just like, nah, I'm good. I don't care.
All right, I'm gonna do a little research at some point today. Maybe I can get to this tomorrow with you with actual information. And the question for you, do you think Eric Musselman leads the SEC in coach tweets?
Tweets? I'm trying to think, go through my list. You got like Buzz, Cal. I would probably say he's if he's not one, he's 1, 2, or 3. So
all right. I'm gonna get a look at that at some point. We'll see where that goes. Before we even take another step into those tweets, we'll step aside because the NBA draft is coming up tomorrow. We are talking NBA draft with Rashad Phillips from SportsTalk23919.com, and he's got some good things to say about Daniel Gafford. That's next on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson. Follow them on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP and at Tye Sports Radio.
It's back, it's way back. Hello, this is Jack Dean with Road Chevy in Van Buren. Come in and hit a home run with these savings. Take home a new 2019 Silverado for as low as $29,988, or a new 2019 Chevy Trax with payments starting as low as $299 a month, or save up to $12,000 on a new 2018 Z701 Crew Cab while supplies last. Take the short drive and we'll go the extra mile for you. Road Chevrolet, exit 2A of 5540 in Van Buren. Find new road.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
True Grit Running Company is where perseverance meets passion. Whether you're training for your next marathon or just comfortable shoes to keep up with your kids, we have the gear to help you reach your goals. With our slow motion gait analysis and our extensive product knowledge, we have the right pair of shoes for you. We also carry apparel, nutrition, hydration accessories, injury prevention gear, and recovery products. We offer classes, workshops, and group runs. Lace up, show up, and get your grit on. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
You spend a lot of time worrying about your family, so you shouldn't have to worry about your tires. Protect what matters to you with Michelin tires and experience a clever combination of confidence and performance. This summer, drive away with extra savings too. Between June 12th and July 11th, get a $70 reward card after submission with purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger and light truck tires. Your Michelin tires and savings are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. See MichelinMan.com/promo for complete offer details. Offer expires 7/11/2019. Void where prohibited.
Kofer's Boat Center, your authorized Mercury dealer, has been helping our customers create a lifetime of family memories for over 45 years. Kofer's carries the brands you trust like low aluminum fishing boats, low pontoons, and Bayliner powered by Mercury. Fish the finest in Triton Tournament bass boats to fit every budget. Or come check out the best-selling towboats in the industry from Malibu and Axis, ready to create the best wakes and surf waves you've ever experienced. Stop by and see all the options available for your family's time on the water at Kofer's, or visit our website at kofers.com.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. And all beers on tap are half price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
Proclaim Construction has been in the industry for a combined 50 years, and they can meet any needs you may have for your home or business. Proclaim is your insurance restoration specialist, and they're offering a no-cost, limited-time free roof inspection, and they'll make your insurance claim if necessary. Whether it's basic repair, remodel, or complete makeover, Proclaim Construction guarantees your satisfaction with the best warranty in the business. Proclaim has references for your peace of mind, and they're licensed, bonded, and insured for your protection. Call 479-407-9598.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
So if you meet here, right here, after school today, you only get one lick from each of us. But you run like cowards, well, it's open season all summer long, boys.
Back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. It is the day before the NBA draft. We've been talking about it for a long time now, and the day is almost here. Let's talk with a draft expert and NBA prospect guru, Rashad Phillips, who played the game himself 4 years at Detroit Mercy, and joins us right now. He's off of SportsTalk2319.com. Rashad, usually I guess I would ask the question, if it is the day before the draft, it's like Christmas Eve for you, isn't it?
It sure is, guys. It feels like it to me. I'm so excited to watch all these wonderful prospects live out their dreams with the draft.
So let's get into, really, I mean, everyone wants to talk about Zion and John Moran, and that's something we'll get into. But the first thing, when you look at your website, we're noticing here you are really high on Daniel Gafford. Got him as the 9th best prospect available in the draft, and I think you've got him higher than most people do. Tell us why.
Well, I think when we're looking at prospects, a lot of times we don't put a premium on defensive players, intangibles, athleticism on that side of the ball. So when I watched the tape on Daniel Gafford for the last 2 seasons, what I saw is a kid that has a terrific motor, that can really run, that excel at finishing over the top of people, a great shot blocker, a little raw offensively, but the skills that he has, I think, are very marketable for certain NBA teams that need that type of guy.
With Daniel Gafford, you mentioned before we came on, you've watched a lot of film. What excites you about him going to the NBA level just by watching his film?
Well, I'm a big supporter of Jared Allen from the Brooklyn Nets, and also Mitchell Robinson from the New York Knicks. I had the opportunity to train Jared Allen during pre-draft, and when I watch Daniel Gafford's tape, I see a lot of Jared Allen, very athletic, can get to the ball, space eater, rim protector, and Gafford is much bigger than Jared. So this kid is very marketable to an NBA team, and I think people don't really put value on that. If you look at Mitchell Robinson, who I think was a 36th pick last year, and you saw his impact that he had with the New York Knicks, I just think Daniel Gafford is the guy in the draft that you may get late, but you're going to get a bang for your buck, so to speak.
So you think it was right for him to come out, and I think most people here in Arkansas knew he was gone, and you most of the time think potential NBA players, they either leave after your freshman or sophomore year. Do you think he would have had anything to gain, Rashad, by coming back to school for his junior year?
No, I don't. I mean, I think last year he could have been a borderline first-round pick, second-round pick, and then he came back and he was 17 and 8 rebound player, and so I don't think coming back would have done him any justice. And obviously you guys lost Coach Anderson. He's gone. And, I mean, like I said before, when I turned on the tape against LSU, I watched Gafford go for 30. I watched him draw post doubles against Kentucky. I mean, the SEC is a tough conference. And I just thought that Daniel really held his own in a tough conference.
Talking with Rashad Phillips, SportsTalk23919.com here on Halftime. I found it interesting. The guy that you really, really like in this draft is Ja Morant. I got a chance to watch him during the NCAA tournament at times this season for Murray State. You actually like him better than Zion Williamson. And I got to be honest, man, I haven't seen a single person, a single draft guru, a single draft analyst, or anyone that has him above Zion. Why is that the case for you?
Well, I break it down in football terms. I'm a huge NFL guy, college football guy. So I look at point guards as quarterbacks. And what I see with Ja Morant, I think he's the superstar quarterback in this draft. And when you look at big guys like a Zion, they're like defensive ends to me. So I look at the usage rate. I look at the dynamics of it. And I just think that Ja Morant is the Patrick Mahomes of this draft. And I think Zion Williamson is like the Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, like that pass rusher of this draft. So when you look at the landscape of the NBA, you have to have a dynamic point guard in order for things to go the right way. A lot like football, you're going to have to need the proper quarterback for everything to flow. And I just think Ja Morant, he exudes that. He epitomizes that. The first player to ever average 24 points and 10 assists. And I just think that he's really that good. And it's no slight to Zion. It's just more of a positional preference for me in a usage rate.
Rashad, you're pretty big at comparing NBA prospects to NFL talent. I saw you refer to Cam Reddish as the Randy Moss of the NFL draft. Why do you go with the comparisons between basketball and football?
I like, because I grew up with football. Football was my first love growing up. And I try to bring a different perspective and different analogies for people who don't really understand the draft process. And I think it's a fun way to bring everyone together in regards using both sports. I had somebody yesterday, guys, call me and say, I never was interested in the draft until I started hearing you because I just like NFL. But now you're starting to compare these guys to NFL players, and it's gotten me more interested in players like a Cam Reddish because I use Randy Moss.
And we can tell that you if you're going to compare Ja Morant to Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback and point guard position, you're saying this is somebody that can not just make an impact as a rookie, but, maybe do something truly special. So when you refer to Cam Reddish as the Randy Moss of the NFL draft, what do you mean there?
Well, when you look at Randy Moss and you look at Cam Reddish, what you see is a person that passes the eye test first. Before they even step on the court, before they even step on the field, this is a person that just passes your eye test for the position that they play. Cam Reddish stands 6'8", 6'9". He's the traditional, prototypical wing perimeter player, can handle the ball, can facilitate, can knock down shots, he can defend. He is the prototypical basketball player, a lot like Randy Moss is the prototypical wide receiver, 6'4", long arms, run a 4.340. So in that regards, that they remind me of each other. Now, when you dig deeper, they've both been given red flags by the media. A lot of people say Cam Reddish doesn't have the motor. He doesn't love the game. Same thing about Randy Moss. He didn't love the game. He didn't play every down like it was his last. A lot of these media red flags, and what happened was people passed on Randy Moss. They passed on him, and he made the NFL pay for passing on him. And I see Cam Reddish as having that same type of chip on his shoulder.
Rashad, I'm curious, with Jordan leaving the league, ratings have gone down, and that was the most iconic player in National Basketball Association history. And we've had LeBron, we've had Kobe, we've had a few other guys since then. But do you think the NBA, ratings-wise and viewership-wise, will ever be able to get back to that point where the pinnacle when Michael Jeffrey Jordan was in the league?
Wow, that's a tough question. I don't know. I don't know if it'll get to the point where I think LeBron is the closest thing. But I don't know if it can get to that point. Maybe because with social media, maybe. But I don't think we'll ever see an athlete like Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest athlete to ever walk the earth other than Muhammad Ali. So I don't think that we'll have that iconic figure like that ever again to push those ratings like that.
So, Rashad, there were a couple players that played in his time, and as a shorter guy that played college basketball, I know you can relate to them, maybe not as short, but like Spud Webb, Muggsy Bogues, and some others. I know you just appeared on Cowherd this past week. One of the things Cowherd always goes back to is he's going to trust the bigger, stronger player. He always, when he compares Steph and LeBron, he's always like, I'm taking LeBron because he's the bigger, stronger guy. In today's game, in today's day and age in the National Basketball Association, how much do you think size and stature is important compared to it was maybe 10, 20 years ago?
I think it's not as important as it was 10, 20 years ago because the game, a guy like Steph Curry that you mentioned, has changed the game. The way the game is played, it's more spread, it's more jump shooting, it's more of a skilled game today than it is power game. So I still prefer the skilled guy over the power guy. Again, it goes back to my analogy. Do you prefer a defensive end or do you prefer a quarterback? I prefer the quarterback. I like the ball in my hands, and I like to direct traffic and make things happen, and that's what the NBA is all about today.
Does that have a chance to change? You know, sports are cyclical, and this isn't the first time that basketball has been a guard or guard-oriented or smaller player-oriented or just perimeter-oriented. Sometimes it's a matter of who it is that's in the league. Do you see that changing at some point?
Yeah, I do. I think, like you said, I think sports is so trendy, right? Like you have pockets and waves when sports it's three-point shooting, and then it's the big guys, and then it's the big guards, and then it's the small guards. It's just, I think it's just right now we're just in that trend of skilled, long-distance three-point shooters, and that's what people like to see because it sells tickets as well.
So what do you see the Lakers doing with number 4? I mean, they trade for that pick. When they get Anthony Davis, it comes over to them. You think they pick there? Do they go with a point guard? You think in Darius Garland? Do you think they trade?
I think they may trade it because they're still trying to fill out their roster, right? So I think they want some more veterans, so they may trade that pick. It's very possible, but this draft is going to be really quirky tomorrow. There's going to be some weird things that happen tomorrow. And the Lakers will be involved in something tomorrow. The Pelicans and Lakers are not done moving around.
Something funky, something that we really couldn't anticipate. Not just a trade, but like a multi-level, multi-team trade, right?
Yes, that's going to happen.
This is intriguing. I mean, it's not just a regular stand there, select a guy. This is what we want when it comes to a draft. We want this from the NFL draft. We want this from the NBA draft.
Shifting and moving.
Shifting and moving. I love it. Hey, I love your website. It's got a unique name, Sports Talk 2319. Tell us what our listeners could find on that and why you named it Sports Talk 2319.
Yeah, thank you. Well, on my website, you will see that I cover the entire landscape of college basketball throughout the year, bringing awareness to all college basketball players, not just the high level guys. I'll highlight guys that play in the smaller conferences all over, just giving every kid a platform. And that's why I call my show The Voice of the Unheard, because I think every kid deserves a platform, a voice, especially if you're good. Also, during the NBA draft time like now, you will be able to see videos of me talking about different draft prospects. I have my own draft files. And tomorrow I have my own NBA draft show. I'm here in Atlanta today, heading to sound check right now to do the walk through my NBA draft, and it will be on SUV TV. It will be live streamed tomorrow. And also during the NBA season, you'll see me doing locker room interviews with players from all over the league.
Very good. We'll be paying attention, certainly tomorrow during the draft, no doubt about that. Rashad, thanks for your time. Enjoy the draft. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure. Talk soon.
Absolutely. That's Rashad Phillips. Give him a follow on Twitter at RP3Natural. You can also get a look at his website for all of the draft updates at sportstalk2319.com. Before we go to the break, don't forget about the 15th annual Thick Burger Eating Contest for a football trip of a lifetime. You'll be going to Kansas City to see the Chiefs and the Chargers just before New Year's with 2 tickets to the game, premium hotel accommodations, and spending cash, plus memories that last a lifetime. You'll find a Thick Burger Challenge eating contest at a Hardee's near you. The dates and locations announced shortly. They'll be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. All you got to do to get qualified is eat a thick burger in 90 seconds or less, and you'll be automatically qualified for the finals. The finals are Saturday, August the 17th. And if you're not an eating contest kind of person, I know you know someone who is. The trip is for 2. We'll come back to wrap up the first hour of halftime next. It's ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Good coaches win. Great coaches cover. You're listening to Halftime.
0% financing and huge spring savings on new Buicks at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2019 Buick Encore, only $18,999 or just $299 a month. That's a 2019 for under $19,000. Or get 0% financing for 72 months on most Buick models, including the Cascada, Encore, Regal, LaCrosse, and Envision. Spring into savings at the #1 Buick dealer in the country, Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's your piece of land, your point of pride, your place of peace and quiet. Your yard means something to you. So mow like you mean business with a professional-grade Gravely zero-turn mower. Gravely means comfort. Gravely means strength. Gravely means cutting precision. Gravely mowers mean business. Gravely, build to mow the distance.
Visit Bush Machine and Tractor, 7301 0th Street in Fort Smith, or at bushtractor.com.
Supercuts of Rogers is hiring. Supercuts team members take pride in maintaining a positive, professional, and creative workplace. Supercuts team members provide the highest quality for guests by attending training courses at our Hairstylist Academy, as well as ongoing coaching and guidance by renowned Supercuts artistic directors. Supercuts has the highest base pay in the market, including paid time off, commission-based performance pay, great tips, company-sponsored health insurance, and much more. Simply apply online at supercuts.com or contact Joe at 520-203-4316.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live Ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, controlled access, and card readers. Call the Fence Man for a quick, no obligations quote. 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Art's and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house-smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh-cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Summertime is fun time, and we're all about it at Rath Auto Resources. Hi, folks. Larry Rath here with exciting news about our summer sales drive. We're out to break every sales record this summer, and we're doing it with extra for trades, fast, easy financing for every situation, and huge discounts on our entire Rath Road-ready inventory. Like these special purchase 2018 Toyota Corolla LEs for only $14,848 or $0 down and $229 a month while they last. Plus, we'll be giving away a showroom full of summer fun prizes, including a grand prize trip to Big Cedar Lodge. Or or let us take care of the car you have with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, free AC checks, and 10% off all AC work in our Meineke Car Care Center. Don't wait. Give us a call, go online, or visit us today to save some real money on a nicer, newer car and register to win fun prizes during the summer sales drive at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
No purchase necessary. 0 down payment with approved credit. See dealer for details.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
I am so tired of dealing with incompetence. It says 100% guaranteed, you moron.
Mister, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kick 100% of your ass.
Halftime rolling along a Wednesday, moving close to the top of the hump here on a Wednesday. Ty, you saw where Brett Favre announced he was coming back on Instagram for a brief moment. Apparently it wasn't really Brett Favre anyway. Though I'll tell you what, off the video I've seen of him making throws last year, he could make the throws. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The gunslinger could sling it around no matter what.
Yeah, he could still do it. Apparently someone hacked his Instagram account and put up his Super Bowl winning picture when he's alongside Terry Bradshaw. But unfortunately it was hacked, and he is not coming back. The fleek 49-year-old is not making a appearance back to the NFL.
That's one of the guys that you would actually believe it if it comes out like that.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Like I would have believed Nolan Ryan would try a comeback at the age of 50. It just never happened. We'll be back for a comeback of our own for the second hour on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Proclaim Construction has been in the industry for a combined 50 years, and they can meet any needs you may have for your home or business. Proclaim is your insurance restoration specialist, and they're offering a no-cost, limited-time free roof inspection, and they'll make your insurance claim if necessary. Whether it's basic repair, remodel, or complete makeover, Proclaim Construction guarantees your satisfaction with the best warranty in the business. Proclaim has references for your peace of mind, and they're licensed, bonded, and insured for your protection. Call 479-407-9598.
When you think about the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you think about winning. And with more than 500,000 life-changing scholarships awarded so far, you can think about winners like Cole, who won the chance to study psychology at the University of Arkansas, or Miriam, who won an education from Arkansas Tech, or Rafa, who won a scholarship to UA Fort Smith, the first in her family to go to college. Apply for your scholarship now at scholarships.adhe.edu. This is winning.
Kofer's Boat Center, your authorized Mercury dealer, has been helping our customers create a lifetime of family memories for over 45 years. Kofer's carries the brands you trust like low aluminum fishing boats, low pontoons, and Bayliner powered by Mercury. Fish the finest in Triton Tournament bass boats to fit every budget. Or come check out the best-selling towboats in the industry from Malibu and Axis, ready to create the best wakes and surf waves you've ever experienced. Stop by and see all the options available for your family's time on the water at Kofer's, or visit our website at kofers.com.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson. My mom and dad founded Razorback Camper Sales 50 years ago. It all started back in 1969 on the corner of St. Louis and Airport Road in Hot Springs. Spending time with family and helping our customers make lasting memories is what we've been doing for the last half century. Isn't that right, Mac?
That's right, Papa!
From all of us at Razorback Camper Sales, thank you for the last 50 years.
Right now at Randall Ford, sales tax paid. You heard right. Sales tax paid on all new and used vehicles in stock. Sales tax paid. Plus, we want your trade. Randall Ford is paying top dollar for your trade with a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Why buy anywhere else? Stop in today. Sales tax paid and top dollar for your trade. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers, or online at randallford.com. Fourth oldest Ford dealer in America with approved credit. See dealer for details.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Our weather staying pretty unsettled tonight into Wednesday. Occasional showers and storms tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. We're looking at an increasing chance of showers and storms Wednesday. Some could be strong to severe. Our high temperatures mid to upper 80s. And taking a quick peek at Thursday, sunshine returns, temperatures in the 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on at OGE.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 72 days.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Tye Richardson.
Been doing some homework, man. I appreciate the work you're putting in. Your show is really, really good, guys.
What were you doing there?
Communicating. Keeping up with foreign relations. Giving him the bird. The finger.
Yes, I know the finger, Goose.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
That reminds me now that you put together a new show open, Tye, that features, that's from Top Gun, that scene you put
Top
right
Gun.
there. I know you've seen Top Gun a number of times, but now we're getting into the summer movie season, which I think for you and me ought to be a lot of fun because the summer movie season is going to take hold for us during halftime homework, which we've got tomorrow. And I already gave you a movie assignment from the 1980s, a movie that was probably near as popular as Top Gun was when it came out. It sold more leg warmers than it did sell people on flying for the Navy. You're going to be watching Flashdance, I think, if I'm able to force you to. I did assign it. That doesn't mean I can hold you in front of a television and prop your eyeballs open like Clockwork Orange. But that's the assignment, is to watch Flashdance for tomorrow. And I think you had told me, am I supposed to learn about the Olsen twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley?
Yeah, that's your assignment because they were the teen heartthrobs during my days, and
I know who they are, and it's interesting that you assigned me that because the lovely lady, and I need to ask her why she asked me to watch this. Last night, she texted me saying that I had to watch episode 18 from season 3 of Fuller House. Fuller House. Right, and so I did. Obviously, I'll do anything that this lady asks me to do. And I'm kind of wondering is like what I don't get. I'm not quite sure why she assigned it to me. I did watch it. So, it involved like an 80s party at the end. It's not a really good show. I'll put it that way.
It's awful. You're putting it lightly. See, here's the thing. When you have Disney and other big media companies that try and recycle shows, this isn't the case for every show or movie they do it with because I think they've done a good job with some. But I think you can reference Fuller House being kind of a tag off of Full House. You can say Girl Meets World, which is just another Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World is so much better than that. And then this is coming from the generation that's supposed to like the new show that they're trying to tailor it towards. And I always, typically, this isn't the case for everything, but typically I'll side with the older movie or the older show, and I'm going to do it with both of those.
Well, anyway, I remember what my assignment is. I already know enough about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen from living around in the 90s, so I'm good enough. I've already done my homework based upon lived experience. You, on the other hand, if you can find it without spending money on it, I don't want you to waste your money on Flashdance. You got to watch the movie and tell me all about what you learned from watching Jennifer Beals do her thing. Although interestingly enough, she did not dance in the dance scenes. She was the actress for the non-dance scenes. Anyway, you'll enjoy it or you won't, but you got to do it.
You said I would hate it.
That might have been the words I used. That might have been the words I used. But I'm trying to learn you something. You're trying. If that segment tomorrow is all about, the millennial. I know you put in that open for that segment the millennial versus the, what do you call me?
Middle age.
The middle age.
Which is what
you get the cool term, I get the geeky term. I get it. It's all right.
I would not define millennial as a cool term. I typically think when you get referenced as a millennial, you're looked down upon, which is fine. I don't mind that because that's my age and that's kind of been what I've been gifted with. But middle age, that's not, that's a way to describe you. You're 42, 43? Yeah, 40.
I'm not offended by
Yeah,
it. It's just
42.
I don't even know what generation I come from. I think we've gotten into that before. I don't know if I'm X, if I'm Y, if I'm a tween, whatever. I mean, I just know I was born in 1977. And you take it from there.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm just trying to teach you about what it was like to live during that time, and you can't know what it was like to live during that time if you've not at least seen a little piece of Flashdance.
Hey, that's fair. I'm okay with that. I'll do my part. I'll do my due diligence, and I'll watch this movie. In fact, I got some volleyball that I'm playing with tonight. I probably won't watch the movie after. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some food and go straight back and watch it. I'm gonna skip the working out before volleyball today, even though I need to be working out. We'll get into that in a sec, but
just treat Flashdance like it's an exercise video that you have to keep up with, okay? Because it really is. Some of the routines is just like the aerobics routines of the 1980s. They were sort of modeled around this.
Is it anything compared to Dirty Dancing? I still haven't seen that yet with Swayze, and I don't even know the actress's name. Is it anything like that?
Where's my list so I can add that too? If you haven't seen Dirty Dancing,
yeah, that's on my list. I got like 50 movies or so that I have that you've either told me about or have added just to watch over time, and it's definitely one of those.
Partially what summer's about, right? Catching up on the movies that you should have been watching instead of all this stupid football and basketball and baseball stuff, man. What's with that?
Yeah, why do we have a show dedicated to those sports? Come on.
Well, we just did 5 minutes on movies. Yeah. Change my mind.
I changed my mind.
Hi, Joey.
Hey, how you doing? He won't sell anybody out to buy his future.
How can you be so obtuse?
What did you call me?
Obtuse? Is it deliberate?
Son, you're forgetting yourself.
Change my mind.
So, yeah, I mean, Major League Baseball has done interleague play now for, it's been part of the game for like 20 years now, if not longer. And the reason to build interleague games and why they were for a while very rare. It just felt like an interesting toy that you would like to play with because you would get these matchups of the Dodgers versus the Angels, the Mets versus the Yankees, and see the Royals play the Cardinals. Replays, so to speak, of the great '85 World Series. For where I'm from in Pittsburgh, you thought playing Cleveland every year might be kind of fun. The shine is worn off of interleague play, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing interleague play. I do think sometime in the future there's going to be a radical realignment of Major League Baseball. You're going to go more into East versus West, but that's not where we are right now. We're still doing interleague play. We're still doing the National League versus the American League, and I think the best one that would be that I'd like to go see would be Cubs versus White Sox. The Mets and Yankees thing is really cool. The Subway Series, so to speak, is great. The Mets have been around since 1961. 62, I'm sorry. The Yankees, since just around the turn of the 20th century is when they moved from Baltimore. They were the Orioles. They moved to New York. They were the Highlanders, then called the Yankees. All right, so the Dodgers and the Angels is great, but, it's the West Coast. It's L.A., and they're a little blah about it. The White Sox and the Cubs have been inside the same city essentially since the 1880s. I mean, the Cubs were called the White Stockings, and these were back when the leagues legitimately hated each other, and I think that with the difference in the neighborhoods between the North Siders where Wrigley is and the South Siders where. I still want to call it Comiskey, but what is it called now? Guaranteed Rate Field? Where, by the way, they're doing a great thing by extending the nets. They're extending the nets in foul territory all the way down the baselines to the foul poles. Just announced it yesterday, so kudos to them for doing that. But the history between these teams, for me, the city, the atmosphere, I've been to both stadiums. I just think, for me, that would be the most fun of the intra-city, interleague rivalries to go watch. Change my mind.
So the White Sox won mid-2000s World Series?
They won in 2005.
Okay, 2005. Cubs most recently 2 years ago, right?
Oh, it was 2016, yeah.
Yes.
You had the city of Chicago went without a World Series championship from, I want to say, was it 19...
Should have been 1908, right?
1916 or something, because the White Sox, I think, won one. I'd have to look back. But, from the teens or the decade before that up until 2005.
Okay. Yeah, I love, you referenced the hate that these franchises once had towards each other, and this applies to football, basketball, and baseball, specifically in the professional sports today, there's just no true hatred for the other team. Every once in a while, you'll get a brawl. Every once in a while, you'll get a little scuffle. But it's just not the same. And particularly when you have two teams vying for their own fans' attention within a Tri-City area, that kind of adds a little bit to it. And I know they're not 5 minutes. How far are the ballparks away, Phil?
Oh, man, I'm not even really sure. I mean, I think it's probably – I couldn't guess. I'd have to look it up, and I could look that up briefly, momentarily.
It's a decent – like, it's not like they're within a mile of each other or anything. It's not that close, but you still being in the same city competing. I like it.
9 miles. Driving distance is 9 miles.
In Chicago, that's probably like, 20 minutes or so, depending on traffic. So it's not a Boston LA type rivalry or a Boston New York or LA New York. I think those three cities will always just have an extra edge when it comes to national attention looking at a rivalry. But city-wise, Chicago, you got New York, LA. Is there another city I'm missing that has two franchises baseball-wise in it? Or is it just those three?
That's it.
Okay. Angels, Dodgers.
I mean, you could say the Bay Area, but that's not the same city.
Yeah. Angels, Dodgers. I feel like everyone's a Dodgers fan, so I feel like they're not really competing for fandom within. Now, that's not true. There are some Angels fans, but that's just how I feel. Mets, Yankees-wise, there's a lot more Yankees fans than there are Mets because of their success. So I would probably say, yeah, Chicago. I feel like there's more Cubs fans, but that would probably be the most heated rivalry of the three. So, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there.
Well, they had one of the all-time great moments in that series yesterday when the Cubs were leading going into the 9th inning, and Eloy Jimenez stepped to the plate.
Jimenez in the air, left field. He's your hero tonight. Welcome to Wrigley. He cracked the bat on that swing and still drove it out of the park. The bat shattered in his hands.
So that leads to my second one here. Eloy Jimenez is Superman. First of all, this kid was traded out of the Cubs organization to the White Sox. I think it was about 2 years ago, around the time of the deadline, and was traded in like a 3-for-1 for Jose Quintana. And he's worked his way up through the White Sox organization, one of the top power hitting prospects in baseball, dozen homers as a rookie, .254 average, and he hit a home run with a broken bat yesterday. I mean, this is the sort of stuff you see in the Sandlot with tearing the cover off the ball. It sounds like it actually can't be done. He is Superman. How do you do that? Change my mind.
Well, I've never heard of someone breaking a bat and still sending it out. So you just got to assume one thing or another that the guy is not from here, that he's from another planet. So yeah.
Well, he's from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. So I mean, he's not from here, but he is from here.
Yeah.
But I think he's Superman. This is an exciting ball player, and at some point, I figure he'll. If you hit a home run with a broken bat, maybe you can just stare the ball over the fence next time.
So my first one, Phil, for Change My Mind is going to be more tailored towards make up my mind. You know how there's these anonymous mailbags out there where different sports figures answer questions that are sent in. They can be sports related, pop culture related, or just life related. So my buddy yesterday got a girl's number, a waitress, her number written on his receipt. He's currently has a beautiful girlfriend that he's dating that's been dating for over a year now. Phil, should he tell her that he got a number from a girl and not did anything about it, or just keep that knowledge and information to himself?
Well, did he ask for her number? Okay, that's the thing. Then sure, then it's okay. If somebody just handed you the phone number, you can say, guess what happened today? And then take the phone number and crumple it up and throw it in the garbage.
So he should not tell her at all. He did not ask for it. It was just written on his receipt. He should not.
No, I'm saying he can mention it to her. Sure, why not? It's part of your day.
Okay.
She might find that interesting. Now, I don't know her. It's different with everybody, I think. But I would be all right telling lovely lady, it's like, hey, this waitress just gave me her phone number. I didn't ask for it, but hey, look at this. And then throw it away.
Would you be one of those guys be like, well, look how lucky you are. I'm getting numbers left and right. You should be so lucky to be with me.
I guess it's interesting to see what the reaction would be.
Yeah. I don't know her that well, so I don't know if she's the jealous type or not, but I was kind of curious because that that came across yesterday, and this is the first really question I've asked, not to change my mind, but to make up my mind, and more importantly, my friend's mind on what he should do. So I guess I'll tell him to tell her and then see what happens. If she blows up in his face, Phil, I'm coming back to you, and he's going to come back and blame you.
This is great. I love what this show has become here in Mount Rushmore season. Part sports show, part pop culture show, and part relationship laboratory, which is what it sounds like this has turned into for right now.
We do a number of things here on Halftime. We answer your questions, sports related, pop culture related, and life related.
It's all about being part of the public service.
Exactly.
Public service. That's right. All right. So I also saw today, and Tye brought it up to my attention, and maybe it's because I think not every day is like this, but a lot of days we'll have one of these. It is Martini Day, National Martini Day. Now I don't mention every hashtag holiday that Tye puts on our show opening tweet. And rest assured, for those of you who are not on the Twitter machine, he's got a hashtag holiday on every single show opening tweet. This is part of the millennial thing.
Some are boring.
This is not a thing that the quote-unquote middle-aged were paying attention to.
Some are boring, some are funny, but I just have them in there it's kind of a staple of the show.
Yeah, no, I don't mention National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. I don't mention National Orange Juice Day.
Just the alcohol days. That's typically
just Martini Day, to be quite honest. That's the one thing that I'll focus on. And I still haven't changed your mind, I think, to even try one, because then you can put the finger at me for that, for not being in Fort Smith too often to take you out for one. But I don't even think that you would drink it if I forced it upon you. But when it comes down to when it comes to a martini, the vodka that you choose is the most important part of the taste. You know, some like it to taste like the ocean, or like they're drinking somebody's tears and want it saltier than anything they've ever had. Some want it tasting just like olive water. For me, I want to taste the vodka, and I want that to be crisp. But I also don't want it just to be watered down. And so for that very reason, Tye Richardson, as the next time or the first time you make yourself a martini, stirred, not shaken, just like President Bartlett said on the West Wing. Which I had queued up for a soundbite, which won't work.
So not to chip the ice. James is ordering a weak martini and being snooty about it.
Well, I'll reflect on that while watching my digital enhanced picture with theater quality sound.
Okay.
So essentially, if you shake your martini up, if you shake the ice, you're shattering the glass, which is the ice, and turning it into water. You are watering your drink down. Don't do it. Taste the flavor of the vodka and the strength of it, too.
That's the show I started in college. So I watched the first episode. I didn't get into it. Rob Lowe's in it. There's a couple other famous actors and actresses. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's a good show, right?
It's a great show. Yeah, it's actually it's a binge-worthy show from the 1990s.
Is it? I heard it's similar to House of Cards, but obviously more 90s-ish and less dramatic.
And not as evil.
Evil, okay.
Yes. I think that'd be the best way. I don't remember, and I watched the first couple of the seasons of House of Cards. I don't remember Spacey's character's name, but it's a fairly evil character that he got risen to the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I wouldn't put President Bartlett in the evil category at all. He was lovable.
Good to know. Second changed my mind, Phil, and Phil wasn't a huge fan of this. But according to a poll and a survey from Planet Fitness, dad bods are becoming more popular. And this was some results shows 78% of people think the confidence is keen. Phil, you are never going to change my mind on this, that the females find the dad bod more popular than a washboard six-pack. And I'm going to...
They do?
No, they don't. Absolutely not.
Okay. I thought you said they do.
I have a two-pack. Like, I have abs up top and then beer and pizza and all that other crap down low, so I don't have a six-pack. But I just think that idea that people actually think that a dad bod is more attractive than just being skinny is just a flat-out lie. Even though, like, confidence, I get that kind of thing, but it's just not true. Changed my mind.
It is about confidence, Tye. That's first and foremost. You have to have the confidence that your dad bod is the bod that everybody wants. And maybe it takes some time to convince yourself of that. But now here's the other thing, too. The dad bod means that you're a dad, or at least of that age, generally, where you might start, sagging a little bit. And I'll say this.
So I don't have an excuse is what you're saying?
You have zero excuse. You have absolutely zero excuse. That's exactly what I'm getting at. I have all the excuse in the world, and it's because of the knees. A year ago, I was running circles around downtown Omaha and destroying my knees and didn't even realize it. A year later, as my father was with me for the Super Regional at against Ole Miss, right? He's talking about how proud he is of me and all of that, and then he looks at me and he says, "And you look a little softer than you did a year ago."
Your dad, because you had a lady tell you that a couple years ago when you were Travs games, or was it this year?
It was a month ago. Okay. She said that. Yeah, it's like, we were a little worried about how you looked. You looked emaciated. Now you put those 15 pounds back on. She was trying to give me a compliment, and I'm going to take it well. When your father says you look soft, that's like when he told my sister 20 years ago that she looked puffy. He's trying not to say you've gained some weight. And using the word puffy to your sister, I don't know about that either. Yeah, that's something that I couldn't change his mind about, unfortunately.
All right, I want to blend my third one into this because it kind of ties into the same category. So I went to a healthy foods place yesterday and spent money on groceries for the week. Phil, it's killing me. I'm not even through a day. I tried the protein shake thing. I've been doing the chicken, broccoli, rice, but like the really healthy organic stuff. I had a weird, I don't even know where it's from, type of shake this morning. And Phil, I'm not even going to last a day of being plant-based because after this, I'm going to go get a cheeseburger, fries, and some fried pickles. So tell me I'm wrong for not trying to keep up with this this plant-based diet. Tell me, change my mind. I'm not wrong for quitting on it after a day.
You wasted so much money. You wasted yourself so much money just in the last day by shopping like that.
So I'll say this. I'm going to finish eating the healthy stuff through the rest of the week, but it might be coupled with some fries, pizza, burgers, and other delectable items.
Just take all of the stuff you bought from before and just add a pound of ground beef to everything. You'll be fine. It'll get you through the day. Stick it all in the fryer. It'll get you through the day. You'll be fine.
By the way, our buddy
put a little gravy on all of it. You'll be fine.
That's true. Our buddy Jeff Taylor.
Add some ranch to it. I think you'll be happy.
The two best, the best type of sauces or condiments. We'll get into that at the end. Mount Rushmore best fast food condiments. Our buddy Jeff Taylor over at Jeff's Clubhouse saying dad bod is keen. So you have a fellow dad bod fanatic, Phil. So at least you're not alone.
I'm just trying to find the happy medium or the soft middle, so to speak.
There you go.
One thing I can't change your mind about is that Rhodes Chevrolet is a name that you can trust. You've known that for over 80 years. Rhodes has always been dependable in the car buying and car owning experience. From the first time that you walk into their showroom, you're treated like family. As part of the family-owned dealership and service department that has served the River Valley for over 8 decades. Find your next dependable vehicle today at Rhodes Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, or at RhodesChevy.com. Rhodes Chevrolet, dependable since 1934. We'll come back on halftime. This is ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
Right now at Randall Ford, sales tax paid. You heard right. Sales tax paid on all new and used vehicles in stock. Sales tax paid. Plus, we want your trade. Randall Ford is paying top dollar for your trade with a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Why buy anywhere else? Stop in today. Sales tax paid and top dollar for your trade. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers, or online at randallford.com. Fourth oldest Ford dealer in America with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Proclaim Construction has been in the industry for a combined 50 years, and they can meet any needs you may have for your home or business. Proclaim is your insurance restoration specialist, and they're offering a no-cost, limited-time free roof inspection, and they'll make your insurance claim if necessary. Whether it's basic repair, remodel, or complete makeover, Proclaim Construction guarantees your satisfaction with the best warranty in the business. Proclaim has references for your peace of mind, and they're licensed, bonded, and insured for your protection. Call 479-407-9598.
When was
the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney in Family Dentistry. They take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Looking for a new home course this golf season? Eagle Crest Golf Course has memberships as low as $83 a month for Zoysia fairways and bent grass greens. Is your whole golf group ready to join Eagle Crest? 4 new members can join for just $1,150 each for the entire year. Individual annual memberships are just $1,250 a year. Call Eagle Crest Golf Course right now for all the details. 632-8857. That's 632-8857. Eagle Crest Golf Course, Highway 64, just east of Alma.
Every acre of your land adds up to your own piece of heaven. You need a Mahindra tractor to help you put more of your heart into it. Alma Tractor, your local Mahindra dealer, will give you honest answers and straight talk about how our tractors are easy to operate, more fuel efficient, and more powerful. See more during our demo and drive sale with no payments for 90 days on every new Mahindra from Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma. Sale ends June 30th. See more at almatractor.com.
It's back, it's way back. Hello, this is Jack Dean with Road Chevy in Van Buren. Come in and hit a home run with these savings. Take home a new 2019 Silverado for as low as $29,988, or a new 2019 Chevy Trax with payments starting as low as $299 a month, or save up to $12,000 on a new 2018 Z701 Crew Cab while supplies last. Take a short drive and we'll go the extra mile for you. Road Chevrolet, exit 2A 5540 in Van Buren. Find new road.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
This is the Morning Rush.
Lisa is in Northeast Arkansas. What's going on, Lisa?
I just expect at least 6 or 7 wins this year. And if we don't get at least to a bowl, I will be disappointed. Now, I won't jump off a cliff or a grain bin out here or anything like that, but I'll think about it. You know what I mean? I will think about it.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
Questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
I'll give you the answer to that question, Mr. Bender, next Saturday. Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Arkansas finishing tied for 7th place in the College World Series, and they are tied with Auburn. The Auburn Tigers were eliminated by Louisville 5-3. The continuation of yesterday's game that was suspended in the afternoon because of rain. And so 3 games completed today in the College World Series, which will also include Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. They had to get postponed from last night's prime time to this afternoon, 2:15 first pitch on ESPN. The winner moves to the semifinals on Friday. And then an elimination game between Texas Tech and Florida State at 6 o'clock. The winner takes on Michigan in the semifinals on Friday. Let's go to the phone lines right now. We've got Eddie from Clarksville. Eddie, how are you? I am doing very well, and thank you so much for asking.
As the sun came up today, and we're still Hawk fans, and our baseball Hawk train, no, they did not bring back the world title. But I tell you one thing that they did, without a doubt, they solidified they're one of the best baseball teams in all America. And that's something to blow the horn about. And to look forward to next year as the classes I'm looking at, as the number 2 class in the country, to go with what we have coming back. So that's something to look forward in our baseball Hawk train. Let's get to this football program. Let's get to the football Hawk train. And this message is already being sent to Coach Morris to this football team that what is expected this year is to come out of the rut. We're expected to go to a bowl. So get your mind set on that right now, because it starts by winning the teams you're supposed to beat in your non-conference. We cannot afford to lose to Colorado State or Western Kentucky and accomplish that goal. And as I'm looking at this schedule, gentlemen, there's some SEC wins that we can win, and when there was some last year that we should have won that we didn't. So get your mind right when we're ahead and win those games. And let's get to a bowl because it come out of the run. As I gave an analogy last year, gentlemen, that's the best case scenario to describe, especially our football program. It's in a run. And the only way to come out of that is to get to a bowl and give this fan base some hope, to give this football program somewhere in America there's a recruit deciding where he's going to play football. And we cannot, there's not going to come to a school that's winning 2 or 3 games a year. That cannot take place. So, for the football program, get your mind right. I'll say it again. And let's go to a bowl this year. Let's give the fan base something to feed on. Let's give them a little hot delight. And this program needs a sport. Are you listening, Coach Morris? Are you listening, whoever the quarterback is, Dick Starker or Ben Hitt? We get your mind right to this offensive line. Get your mind set right. And this fan base is hungry. Are you? Because I'm going to be ringing a bell on you. There's no reason we can't go to a bowl this year. It's just bringing the maximum of your ability on game day. Cold hold the line. Thank you for taking my call.
Have a great day, Eddie. Appreciate you calling in. Tye, that was summer break, Eddie, right there. It didn't sound like he quite believed in his enthusiasm today. I felt like he was almost faking it a little bit.
I think it's hard for all Arkansas fans to be positive about what happened in Omaha because it was just a disappointment. That's what we framed it yesterday, and that's what it's going to be framed until the next baseball season. And again, I'll reference it. The disappointment was in Omaha, not the overall season, but in Omaha. So it's hard for someone like Eddie, who's as big as Razorback fan as he is, to get as hyped up as he typically is heading into those games because they just came up short.
You know, I would have liked to see if Arkansas would have made it to the championship series, if we could have gotten Eddie to Omaha so that he could have found a way to somehow get a ticket that would have positioned him right next to the Vanderbilt Whistler or whichever one of the two of these look-at-me guys were sitting. And I have to say, it takes people that obviously care about the fan experience to finally do something about this guy, the Vanderbilt Whistler, who is the most annoying sports fan that I think I've ever come near. Ever. He was told after numerous times by an employee of TD Ameritrade Park, therefore making them a representative of the NCAA at that point, that the constant whistling was getting complaints from people in the seats. And that if he kept doing it, they would eject him from the stadium. They would literally walk him out of the ballpark. And he's been doing this at every game he goes to, whether it's home or road. I applaud the representatives of TD Ameritrade Park and of the NCAA for actually caring a little bit about the fan experience. And look, we Arkansas fans, we have some people that are look-at-me fans too. We do. But they don't make ridiculously shrieking noises that are really just designed to get eyes and ears at them. That's all that's for. So good for the NCAA for doing it.
Yeah. That's all you can say about that. It got annoying. And John was debating who the more annoying fan base was, the collection of Mississippi State people or the Vandy Whistler himself, because he kind of
He's like 1 versus 40,000, right?
But he is that annoying. So that's crazy to think that. But if you've heard him, if you've been to Nashville and experienced him at one of those games, Phil has many a times, you understand why.
Well, it's like I said before. If I was a new citizen of Nashville, that obviously, you know what, I hear that Vanderbilt's got a good college baseball team. I think that'd be fun to go follow. I'm gonna go see what that experience is like. Show up, never ever go ever again. You would think that that maybe the coach might care a little bit if the fans actually enjoyed themselves. All right, hey, let's take a break. We'll come back. We talk with Bill King, college football, a little bit more next on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Don't spend life sitting on your hands. You're listening to Halftime.
It's Truck Month 2.0 at Harry Robinson, and all the 2018s have got to go. There are only 6 2018 Sierra trucks remaining. They have to sell this month. Discounts over $15,000 off retail while they last. And the all-new 2019 GMC Sierra with a redesigned body style and the all-new tailgate. Take $12,000 off retail or choose 0% for 72 months. It's Truck Month 2.0. All the 18s have got to go at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You spend a lot of time worrying about your family, so you shouldn't have to worry about your tires. Protect what matters to you with Michelin tires and experience a clever combination of confidence and performance. This summer, drive away with extra savings too. Between June 12th and July 11th, get a $70 reward card after submission with purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger and light truck tires. Your Michelin tires and savings are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. See MichelinMan.com/promo for complete offer details. Offer expires 7/11/2019. Void where prohibited.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half-price. And all beers on tap are half-price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. Invest in your family this summer with a Doughboy above-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for Burton's. There's no better way to spend your summer than with a family in your own backyard. A Doughboy above-ground pool can make that fast, easy, and most importantly, affordable for this summer. Right now, save up to $800 off on select Doughboy above-ground pool packages. Everything you need to start enjoying this summer in your own backyard with a Doughboy above-ground pool. Doughboy above-ground pools are the highest quality above-ground pools on the market. And with these special discounts, payments start as low as $65 a month with your approved credit. And with the great staff at Burton Pools and Spas, you can count on a quality installation to make your backyard even more fun this summer. Check out Burton Pools and Spas online at burtonpools.com or find them on Instagram and Facebook. Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 0 Street in Fort Smith and just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
Of course, if the umps are watching me close, I just rub a little jalapeno inside my nose, get it running, and if I need to load the ball up a little, just wipe my nose.
You put snot on the ball?
I haven't got an arm like yours. I got to put anything on it I can find.
Don't forget, if you're looking for a new vehicle for over 80 years, Rhodes Chevrolet has been a name that you can trust. Rhodes, always dependable in the car buying and car owning experience. From the first time you walk into the showroom, you'll be treated like family. That's part of the family-owned dealership and service department that has served the River Valley for over 8 decades. Find your next dependable vehicle today at Rhodes Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, or at RhodesChevy.com. Rhodes, dependable since 1934. Bill King joining us right now from Nashville Sports Radio, as usual on a Wednesday. Bill, how's the start of summer? I know summer starts in a couple of days, but for me, when Arkansas is eliminated from baseball, summer starts. What's summer like for you so far?
You know what? I enjoy the non-playing portion of the season, meaning football, a lot. I love the games too, but I enjoy the rhythm of the year. I'm a spring guy. May is my favorite month, not September, October, November, even though that's when the best ball is played. So I'm good, man. I like to cut the grass. I like all that stuff.
What is it about May that you like so much? What do you single May out about? Because that's usually, isn't that after the spring games? And what is it about May?
You got to remember, I hate spring games, fake football. But May is springy. It's full of life.
Okay.
I got 7 kids too. School's getting out. They're all excited. So, and I love Memorial Day. It's by far my favorite holiday. Love it.
What's the temperature in Vanderbilt like, or in Nashville like, about Vanderbilt baseball right now? I know that they don't get much, a lot of spotlight because it's Vanderbilt, because it's college baseball, but I mean they are the favorite right now to win the College World Series, and they got a great matchup in about an hour against Mississippi State. I think the winner of that game's in the best position to win the whole thing. What's the temperature around Nashville like for Vanderbilt baseball right now?
It's kind of a fight. Vandy's got a small pocket of fans in any of their sports, and none of them went to Vandy, literally. I mean, I'd say 99.9% of all Vanderbilt support didn't go there. The alumni at Vanderbilt go back to the big cities and they start a business or they go to Silicon Valley. They don't give a rip about any Vanderbilt sports. So it's locals who have adopted Vanderbilt who are very proud of the baseball program. I've had about 5 to 10 of them tell me they're out in Omaha right now. But it's a big fight. They're mad at the local media because the local media talks Titans, rookies, or things like that, or Major League Baseball, because this is a Braves town. A lot of people like the Braves here. So they're talking about that here locally before they talk any Vandy baseball. Some of the local shows tried to steal Rocker's thunder, too, which made them really mad because he said, look, this happened to Duke. You got to put this in perspective. So there's a little bit of a mini fight going on.
Just one last question about Vanderbilt baseball, because I trust your opinion about things. Now, the Vanderbilt Whistler, I am not a fan. I've experienced this up close and personal. The College World Series people warned him they were going to escort him out of the stadium. But I know he's got his supporters. Where do you come down on the Vanderbilt Whistler?
Okay, now, first of all, let me explain something to you. Very few people know this. There are 2 of them.
Right.
And their cadence is different. One of them is there. The other one's coming later. The one that's there now, I swear to God, this is his name. His name is Preacher Franklin. I'm not kidding. That is his real name. At least that's what I'm told his name is. Well, again, it's Vanderbilt against the world. Vanderbilt thinks it's great. Hey, toughen up if you can't take it. They love it. The local paper, the Tennessean, writes about it. How he's been told, you do it again, you're out of here. You're eliminated. That's a big story. At least in the paper it was. So it's everybody else that doesn't pull for Vanderbilt against Vanderbilt on this one. That's exactly where the demographics are. He doesn't bother me on TV per se because I multitask during baseball. I like it, but I multitask, so it doesn't bother me. Now, if I was at the game, it'd probably get to him. And I know you've been there because you do the play-by-play. I can see that.
Talking with Bill Keene, Nashville Sports Radio, every day, 6 to 9 out there. Bill, my brother lives in Dallas, and he hates Dallas sports talk radio because all they ever talk about is the Cowboys, Mavs, and Stars. You don't really get any at all college football talk. And I know you're pretty much year-round college football. You'll hit on college basketball, big topics, and you'll touch on college basketball, same for college baseball. And you made your living since you were an early age, about my age, on college football, particularly recruiting. Why do you think college football is a sport that fans tune into year-round that they don't necessarily pick up on when it comes to pertaining to other sports?
Let me check off on something you said. When I used to do, Sirius would send me to the various conference media days to do the show. And when I do the Big 12, I'd have a layover because I would probably be heading to Chicago or something after that for the Big 10. And I would have to do my show from the ESPN affiliate in suburban Dallas. And I'd come out of my show 6 to 9 in the morning, and I'd see 10 guys getting ready for shows. And every one of them were face deep in Cowboy stuff. That's all it was. I mean, a line limitless. That's all they were doing. And I understand Cowboys are incredibly popular, but yeah, that got me too. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't have the interest. Well, college football it's obviously more regional. The South, the SEC is where it's going to be more prominent around the clock. But I just think it's the energy of Saturdays. And you got to remember, we have so many other things to grab onto, recruiting. And now you've got a new recruiting calendar, so people are looking at the class of 20, and they're looking now at the class of 2021. And it's all over Twitter, and it's $1 billion business. And now the magazines are out, so everybody's talking about the prediction, so you have that to argue about. So it's basically a cycle that now feeds itself. Then you have off-the-field news. Oh, you got it. Guys, I don't know if this is a thing to you, but you got to hear the Zach Smith podcast. I don't know if you've been doing this. Now, I'm not a podcast listener.
We brought it up.
You got to listen. Have you heard any of them yet?
Yeah, he actually, Bill, he referenced a story with Brett Bielema, and I don't know if you know KJ Hill, Ohio State. Yeah, that was wild.
It was a KJ Hill thing. But the most recent one, I'll give you the Cliff Notes quick. The most recent one, he's talking about how Urban Meyer lost the culture at Florida, and there's a bunch of outlaws, Aaron Hernandez, all these guys. And they're sitting there in a wide receiver meeting, and Percy Harvin's sitting there, and another five-star kid who wasn't getting to play because Percy was the star. So they're breaking down film, and the other guy that was in there with Percy Harvin gets critiqued by the wide receiver coach because he makes a mistake. This receiver says, yeah, you wouldn't say anything to Percy if he did it. Percy looks at him and says, keep my name out of your mouth. This guy starts going, Percy. Harvin jumps him in the meeting, starts beating the tar out of him. Wide receiver coach jumps on Percy to pull him off. Percy Harvin gets the wide receiver coach, has him against the wall, choking him to death. Charlie Strong has to come in from another room to save him. That was the most recent one. It's incredible. He also says that he thinks Urban Meyer is in line for the Southern Cal job because he knows somebody in the post office in Dublin, Ohio, who says that Urban Meyer's getting certified mail from Southern Cal. He's intercepted it.
Man,
it's great. It's great.
That's the thing. Sometimes it's great radio, it's great pod. You don't have to believe everything, but at least it's entertaining. And since you brought up Urban Meyer, our friend Connor O'Gara over at Saturday Down South, him and Chris Marlowe there, they did an interview with Steven Garcia, former South Carolina quarterback, and he told them that Urban Meyer, during a recruiting visit, now, mind you, Garcia's from Tampa, so he's going on a recruiting bid at Florida, that Meyer tells him, Bill, why don't you commit to Florida, you beepin' beep. Like, to his face, not word of mouth, tell this kid to tell him, to his face directly. I just keep hearing these Zach Smith, Steven Garcia stories, and I hear other stuff about Urban Meyer. I'm just like, how is this guy that good of a football coach with stuff coming out like this and stuff that may or may not have gone on during his tenure?
Let me tell you something. Urban Meyer is a Hall of Fame generational type coach. Let me begin with a compliment. But he's also a first-class jerk, and that's very normal for him. I've had many Gator fans who will fall on the sword for the Gators. When he was there coaching, not when he left, when he was there coaching, said, yeah, we were touring the facilities or something, and there's Urban Meyer, went up, tried to shake his hand, and he could not have been ruder. And I'm the biggest Gator fan. I've had coaches tell me on visits to school, high schools, how big of a jerk he is. He and I, listen to this, I'll give you a quick story. Big Ten meeting in Chicago, and Urban listened to the show, he'd monitor it, his right-hand man's a guy I know very good. His name's Mark Pantoni. He's a great guy, and he's still at Ohio State. So anyways, I'm at Chicago, Michigan Avenue, hotel, doing the show, looking at the beautiful lake, and they bring all the coaches to me in about a 6-hour period, one by one. Urban Meyer's turn. And Urban knows I've been critical of him because of discipline issues and everything else. So we're small talking before the mic comes on about the SEC meetings. He asked me how that went. Mic comes on, and I go right for the discipline. And we're about a minute and a half in. He admits he's been making mistakes. And he starts looking around for his SID. And he's literally now almost with his back to me, holding the mic, talking to me, but looking for this SID to come get him and save him. It was the funniest thing in the world. He literally wouldn't look at me because I was going to ask tough questions. I'm not going to sit here and throw softballs about your depth chart. And this is the early days at Ohio State, the real early days, when there was still a backlash from Florida discipline issues. I'll give you this about Urban real quick, too. The culture changed. At Ohio State, he recruited a different player, a good player, and they did not have very many discipline issues. He did change that. I'll give him credit for that. But it was total chaos at Florida.
Bill, that's great stuff about it. That sounds a little bit like Bob Knight. Now, I know, there's differences between, some of the guys that they never had guys that you worried about committing crimes in Indiana. I think it was a little different at Urban Meyer for a while there. But as far as looking for the SID, being a really intimidating person, saying whatever you feel like you can say, that's what Urban Meyer sounds like.
Right. I mean, he never got mad. He was just uncomfortable, and you could tell he didn't want to continue because he knew where I was going, and he knew I knew how to ask the questions. And so I don't think I'll have Urban Meyer on ever again. I guess it's point. He won't do it.
Not the kind of guy you think will be a great analyst on a pregame show either. Boy, can't wait to see that train wreck. Bill, really appreciate you as always.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Ty, before we go to the break, why don't you tell them about Nick and Ellie Gladwell?
Yeah, Nick and Ellie Gladwell, like us, love their job. Real estate agents, and the market is hot right now. Whether it's time to sell your home, they can get you top dollar. They can do a lot of different things with the marketing of your home. Professional photography, video, drones, 3D virtual home tours. They're going to get your home sold. And they've been doing it for over 10 years now. They truly love what they do. They advertise social media, TV, here on radio, newspaper, and much more. You can find them on Facebook or Instagram or their website at nickandellie.com.
Cherry on the top of a Wednesday, halftime next on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Halftime.
For almost 70 years, Crabtree RV in Alma has been helping people in the River Valley get out and enjoy the great outdoors. And that tradition continues today with our brand new body shop, a first-class service department, and a friendly staff to help you choose from the top brands in the industry. So put away the devices and get out this summer to enjoy all that the natural state has to offer. With a little help from Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
It's your piece of land, your point of pride, your place of peace and quiet. Your yard means something to you. So mow like you mean business with a professional-grade Gravely zero-turn mower. Gravely means comfort. Gravely means strength. Gravely means cutting precision. Gravely mowers mean business. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Visit Bush Machine and Tractor, 73010 Street in Fort Smith, or at bushtractor.com.